Awesome. Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome today to our June North America virtual mug. We are so excited. We have a couple members from the Adobe product team here with us today to share all about one of the new Marketo Engage tools that's coming up. But before we jump into that, we do have just some housekeeping slides to run through as everybody joins. First of all, I'm Natalie Kramer. I am a Senior Marketing Operations Manager at Atumos. I'm one of the co-leaders of the North America Virtual Mugs. And then I'll turn it over to Jackie to introduce herself.
I'm Jackie Potts, and I work for BombBomb, a video marketing solution, and I am the Marketing Operations Manager there, and I'm based out of Nebraska.
Thanks, Jackie. And then just some housekeeping slides as we get started today. First of all, just some house rules. If you're new to the Marketo user groups, there's a few reminders here. Please, no self-promotion or pitching of any kind. Please don't contact people outside of the user group without their consent. And then finally, if someone shares their use case at the user group, please don't share that information without their consent. And then just so that you all know, as we said at the beginning of the call, this mug is being recorded. If you do not wish to be on the recording, feel free to jump off, and we'll definitely send around the recording after the fact, and you can catch up that way. If you have any questions, my email address, Jackie, and then the Adobe Advocacy email are all listed on here as well. And then you can stay connected with our chapter on the North America virtual mug at this link here through the Bevy site. This way you get alerted to all of our upcoming events, all of the different things we have going on, so you don't miss any of our virtual user groups. And finally, there are some other upcoming opportunities for chapter members. We're getting later in June now, so a lot of these great user groups have passed. But for those virtual meetings, there should be recordings out there. And then there are a couple still left and later in June, and then into July, there's some listed as well. I know someone mentioned in the chat that they're having some audio issues. Can people give me a thumbs up if it's okay on your end, just so we know? It sounds like it might be an isolated issue. So we'll keep going. David, maybe try to log out and rejoin. All right, and then just a reminder, Adobe has some great certifications available for Marketo Engage. If you haven't already gotten certified, or if you're looking to get recertified, there's a lot of great options out there. The expert exam just has a new renewal exam that you can take as opposed to taking the full exam. So a lot of really good opportunities out there to keep your certification and keep you very out there in the hiring market and in the professional development area. So definitely check that out too. But finally, that's it for our housekeeping slides, but we'll go ahead and we will turn it over to our presenters today. We are very excited to have Nikki Wang and Lopa Padilla from the product marketing and product management teams at Adobe here with us today to share about Engagement Canvas, which is one of the new tools coming out in Marketo Engage here this summer. So we'll go ahead and we'll turn it over to you. Super excited to hear what you have to share.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Natalie. And so nice to meet everyone. I'm Nikki. You can also see Lopa's on the line, and we're really excited to share Engagement Canvas with you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's make sure everything's working before we get started. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Awesome. Great. And we might turn off our videos just so you could focus on the content, although, I don't see a way to do that anymore, but that's fine. So awesome. Let's get started. Thank you for joining the mug meeting today. We'll be giving you a sneak peek on Engagement Canvas, which is going GA to all users of Marketo Engage on August 1st. So first things first, Journeys, which you may have heard at Summit or in past materials, is now called Engagement Canvas. So if you are here for Journeys and you're like, what are they talking about? I don't know what Engagement Canvas is. This is now Engagement Canvas. You know how branding things go. So a couple things we're going to do today, where I'll give you an overview of the feature, explain the value, and share the answers to some of the most frequently asked questions. We'll then run through a quick summary before getting into some Q&A. All right, so quick show of virtual hands. Who's had trouble with any one or more of these problems in the past? And hopefully pretty much everyone. I don't think I can see all the hands right now, but I think we can all relate to these challenges and that we've been there. So for example, cross-team collaboration, having to have lead nurturing journeys be really complex and they're hard to understand, even when they're represented visually. And trying to explain that advanced campaign logic or how to track marketing goals to campaigns in Marketo Engage to non-Marketo Engage users can be really challenging. It also usually requires marketing operations teams to build out the journey flow in a third-party tool like Lucidchart or Visio, which I'm sure is nothing new to you all. Another big challenge is often the learning curve. We know that Marketo Engage and the way of building campaigns is really unique and powerful to Marketo itself, but that comes with some challenges, and new users often have a steep learning curve when transitioning from a different tool to Marketo. But as we know, and hopefully as we all like to say, that once you learn it, it's really easy. And the third big challenge we have is that curating those lead nurturing journeys without the ability to create visual journeys in Marketo, architecting all the complex lead nurturing journeys requires that additional step. So building out that full journey in a tool like Visio or Lucidchart or something else like that to demonstrate what's happening and share it with your stakeholders is just an added thing that you need to do with your day. But the great news is the new engagement canvas feature will help solve all of these challenges and more. So let's talk about why. Engagement canvas is the visualization of the power that we know Marketo Engage is capable of. And the value of engagement canvas lies in the ability to build out reusable campaigns aided by intuitive visualization that can be used time and time again. So with Engagement Canvas, you can easily manage interconnected or deeply nested campaigns and validate them through simple out-of-the-box visualization. By providing a visual of interconnected and nested campaigns, we also have an enhanced ability to detect errors and troubleshoot, where users can quickly detect those deep-rooted errors, which of course, as we know, helps with operational efficiency. And this intuitive interface, which you can see a quick preview of on the right here, that maps our lead journeys, helps accelerate the time to value when it comes to onboarding new users, training new team members, or even brainstorming with peers. And last but not least, you can improve alignment across key stakeholders like your sales and marketing leadership teams using these visuals to provide insight into your complex campaigns. So now people that don't use Marketo Engage can really grasp what's happening in these visuals rather than having to go through a complex set of rules in your folder structure. So by facilitating this easier creation, management, and understanding of smart campaigns, while still retaining access to all of Marketo Engage's existing feature set, Engagement Canvas really gives you the best of both worlds. And that's one of the reasons we're so excited to present this new feature to you. So now let's talk about what you can do with Engagement Canvas. For those of you that might be newer to Marketo Engage, it's great that all of your visuals are out of the box. What that means is all you need to do is build out a campaign and the visuals will populate for you. If you want to start building your campaigns within Engagement Canvas, you can do that as well. What's even better is that this feature has full backwards compatibility. So all of the campaigns that you've already created, all of those smart campaigns in Marketo Engage, you can you click a button and you'll be able to see it in Engagement Canvas. Next up, we have workflow auditability. So now that you're able to visualize the interconnected campaigns, with that comes the ability to quickly deduce root cause of errors. So for example, if you're trying to identify why a campaign that's calling another campaign just isn't pulling the expected number of leads, we'll be able to really identify that and in a much quicker way and solve that problem right then. And for all our power users, I'm sure that's something that we are like, yes, I want to do that. Today, we know that you can access the campaign schedule, recurrence, qualification rules, all of that from the schedule tab. And as part of Engagement Canvas, we've created that one-stop shop for all of your campaign settings. So once you take a look at the Engagement Canvas and validate that you're good to go, you can simply navigate to the settings tab to either set up or just check out all your campaign settings before activating that campaign. And taking the experience a step further, Engagement Canvas will include a series of actions that you can take from the top nav, like activating your campaign or even exporting an image of the entire journey to share with non-Marketo Engage users. So again, those stakeholders that need to understand what's happening in your work will be able to understand through that exported visual. And I want to reiterate that nothing in your existing campaigns or settings will change. Any campaigns that are in flight or settings that have been saved will remain intact. Engagement Canvas is going to add a complementary visual layer to what already exists and the power of Marketo. So let's talk about how that provides you value and how you can unlock that value. To begin with, in the planning phase of any new series that you're setting up, management of interconnected campaigns is simplified because you have that enhanced visibility into the lead journey across multiple campaigns. And that in turn helps you build out reusable campaigns. And because of this, there's an increase in operational efficiency when you move on to the execution phase. This is because simplifying complex workflows through visuals can help your team members hit the ground running. So you'll be able to train those users more easily. And then your power users will be able to detect those errors that can sometimes take hours to find. So win-wins all around. And we know that successful planning and execution of marketing goals really lies in that leadership alignment. So Engagement Canvas increases the visibility into day-to-day marketing activities so you can drive well-informed decisions to achieve your shared objectives. And what's great is that this new functionality will empower all members of your marketing organization. So as we've said, new users can build journeys in Marketo Engage in the way that works best for them, be it the traditional folder structure or this new visual engagement canvas. Power users will be able to easily decipher the complex nested campaigns and manage order of operations at scale. And then decision makers will be able to see that full picture of how leads are flowing through their funnel, making it easier to ensure stakeholder alignment and improve cross-team efficiency. But enough of me talking. I'm going to pass it over to Lopa for a demo and feature overview. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Thanks, Nikki. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Lopa Padia, product manager for Marketo Engage at Adobe. Now that you know more about Engagement Canvas, let me take you through a demo video of what this actually looks like in the product. And before we do that, I would like to mention that we are still in the process of changing the name in the product. So there will be references to journeys, but just know that it will say Engagement Canvas when we actually go GA. I'm going to start. So in my Marketo instance, I go to my Marketo activities tab. I see a list of all my campaigns and programs. I'm going to navigate to my favorite welcome series campaign. I see a new built-in journeys button, which will eventually say Engagement Canvas, and clicking on it will navigate me to my brand new Engagement Canvas tab, where the visual journey of, so this is the button, this is the new button that we have added, which will eventually be called Engagement Canvas. And now you see the Engagement Canvas tab, where you can, see the leads that has been pre-populated for me. Here, I'm able to see my triggers and filters, which together form my smart list, used to curate audiences, as well as my flow steps, which form the series of actions my audience will go through. Now that I have a clear picture of my campaign, I can dive into my triggers to see an additional layer of detail. I can even click on the Edit Triggers button here on the right to pull up my triggers modal in a brand new Marketo Engage interface where I can edit and save my changes. So this is the modal where you will see the edit triggers and you can make updates and save your changes. All right. Moving forward, so I can do the same with filters by clicking on the filter card, which opens up the right-hand panel again, and I see information about the estimated number of people and logic. Then if I need to make changes or want to dig in more, I can click on the edit filter button. So I can review any of this info, change what I need, and then close the modal again. Now let's say I have some conditional logic in my flow action. I simply click on the card right here to get a clear visual of my flow steps, along with access points to potentially make any changes before moving along. Again, the edit button will be in the right-hand panel that will open up the flow modal in modern UI. So this is basically Engagement Canvas, a powerful combination of simplicity and sophistication. And as you observed, in just under 2 minutes, I have walked you through a marketing campaign. All right, so with this quick demo now, let's deep dive into specific features of Engagement Canvas around filters, triggers, and flow steps, which also includes error handling and settings tab that will be available to you when we go GA. Once the feature is released, your Smart Campaign overview page will include Engagement Canvas button. Clicking on this will navigate you to a new tab with visualization of your Smart Campaign. Within Engagement Canvas, if you want to visualize triggers, clicking on Trigger Overview card will show details of each trigger and open corresponding slide out panel. Edit Triggers button can be used to add, remove, and review triggers. Clicking on Trigger Detail card will show details of trigger constraints and slide out panel. And then for visualizing filters, clicking on Filter Overview card to see details of each filter and their respective constraints in the slide out panel. It includes any filter logic and qualified audience as well. And then Edit Filters button can be used to add, remove, and review any filters that you have added. For flow steps, if you click on the Flow Overview card, it will display the choices added in the flow steps. Edit Flow button can be used to add, remove, and review flow steps similar to filters and triggers. If there is no choice added, it will display details of all attributes included in that flow step. If a flow step includes any request or execute campaign, then clicking on that flow card will populate visualization of the nested campaign. This will be applicable if the flow step includes choices which call the execute or request campaign. In terms of error handling, any errors within the filters, triggers, and flow steps will be highlighted on the card, and the additional details on the errors will be available in the slide out panel. So here are some examples of the errors that will be displayed in the slide out panel. So once we click on the card, you will see more detail about what went wrong in that filter, trigger, or flow step on the right-hand panel. In terms of top navigation, the top nav of the Engagement Canvas will provide the option to export and download a PNG of your visuals. The version downloaded will also reflect any branches that you have expanded before performing the export. Additionally, you can view campaign members, activate and deactivate your trigger campaigns, and also have easy access to your smart list and flow steps. And here is a quick look at the new and improved settings tab to configure and schedule your smart campaign. And this includes improved modals for qualification rules, individual runs, and recurrence with their validations. The modals will also provide additional context if there are errors in smart list and if the user has restricted edit access. Please note that there are no changes to the existing permissions of the smart campaign and its scheduled settings. They will continue to work as existing. With that, I will hand it back to Nikki, who will again walk through some of the frequently asked questions around Engagement Canvas.
Awesome. Thanks, Lopa. And I think I forgot to say this in the very beginning, but I do see a lot of people posting questions in the chat. Feel free to keep doing that. We'll try our best to get through them, and we'll have some time at the end for Q&A. So let me share my screen again. All right, can everyone see my screen? I'll take silence as a yes. Awesome, thank you. So hopefully we're all really excited. I think this is really big news. I'm sure that there are a lot of questions, and hopefully we'll answer some of the ones that you're thinking about. But again, if we're not, drop them in the chat. We'll get to it towards the end. So first question, do I need to rebuild all of my campaigns in Engagement Canvas? And the great thing here is no, you don't. Engagement Canvas will launch with that full backwards compatibility. So by clicking on that Engagement Canvas button, you'll be able to see each of your existing campaigns in that new visual interface. Second thing, does having Engagement Canvas mean that you'll lose access to the folder structure and have to relearn how to build a smart campaign? I think that's one of the biggest questions we get asked, because as I'm sure many of you know, once you get used to Marketo Engage, you really like that folder structure. And the great thing again is no. Engagement Canvas is built so that it's a complementary layer over the existing UI. So it gives you that best of both worlds. So you can build campaigns in that existing folder structure, and then you can also see them within the new UI and the engagement canvas. So you'll still get all of the existing Marketo Engage features. Nothing will change. It'll just be this added on visual layer. And another question here, do I have to pay something for Engagement Canvas? No, it is included in all existing Marketo Engage instances under all subscriptions. Everyone will have access to it. So another question we get a lot is, how is this different from other visual builders? I'm sure many of you are familiar with some of our like Salesforce and Eloqua, even some of Adobe's own products. So I think there are three big things that really set Engagement Canvas apart. The first is flexibility. So the fact that you can manage and validate those interconnected or deeply nested campaigns through this visualization is not something that a lot of the other visual builders can do. Oftentimes you can only look at one campaign at a time. The second thing is functionality. So the fact that all these visuals are out of the box, it's a lot easier to use. And that nested structure allows users to dive into and get the whole picture. So you can expand in and collapse in and expand out without having to do all that unnecessary scrolling. So if you have used or seen Eloqua, for example, I'm sure we've all seen those spaghetti messes of a canvas. That will not happen with Engagement Canvas. And if you've used HubSpot or Salesforce, it looks cleaner for sure, but you end up having to scroll down and down whenever you have a complex campaign, because there are just so many different things you need to find and map out. So being able to expand and collapse each of the different sections like filters and choice steps will really help alleviate that problem and make the user experience better. And the last thing here, right, that we've been talking about is that power. So for a long time, Marketo Engage did not have a visual canvas because we wanted to retain all of that really sophisticated power, and the way that our product was built did not necessarily easily allow for a visual canvas element, whereas our competitors prioritize that over the power. So now we're really excited to be able to offer that visual overlay and that visual complementary understanding of how Marketo Engage is working. The engagement canvas, again, will be available in all Marketo Engage instances on August 1st. And another question related to that is, as an admin or even as a user, do I need to turn Engagement Canvas on or off? And the great thing is that no, it will be available for all users in their instances. There isn't really a turn on or turn off, but as Lopa was showing in that demo, you can see that button and you can choose to use it or not. So the way that I like to think about it is it's that complementary way to view and build your smart campaigns. Another question, is everything that's available in Smart Campaigns today also available in Engagement Canvas, or are there limitations? And important to know that yes, Engagement Canvas has full feature parity with Smart Campaigns. And hopefully you want to learn more and stay up to date. So just know that it won't be the last you hear from us. We'll be back closer to GA. We'll run webinars, share blog posts, all of the typical things that go along with a product release. So just check out all of your usual channels and we'll be sure to keep you updated. And our last big FAQ, which hopefully you are thinking as well, that this is awesome and you want to be involved. I know that we had some questions about where the product was, if it was in beta, and we finished alpha and we're in the process of beta, so there is no longer the ability to be included in that. But we will definitely be looking forward to hearing any and all success stories, real world use cases, and feedback following the GA release. So if you know that you're interested already, feel free to reach out to our email, which again, we'll send this deck so you have all the links and resources, but we'll definitely be reaching out. So, keep that in mind as you start playing around with it. All right. Before we get into Q&A, I just want to share a quick summary. So a couple things to note. I hope everyone's really excited for Engagement Canvas. And as I'm sure we can all relate, reducing that complexity in favor of operational efficiency is the big topic this year, along with ChatGPT and AI, which is not the topic today, but I had to say it because everyone says it lately. So each of us is trying to optimize the tools that we have access to for that better result and really simplify our tech stack. And we're hoping that's exactly what Engagement Canvas can help you with. So with Engagement Canvas, you'll be able to bring success to your marketing team by decreasing training time so your team can hit the ground running, thereby increasing operational efficiency. You'll also be able to build those reusable campaigns to optimize your own use of Marketo Engage and use Engagement Canvas for just checking those enhanced troubleshooting and error handling. And finally, you'll be able to show off all that Marketo Engage magic to your stakeholders by sharing those exported visuals of your work with them and giving them that layer of simplicity that you, while you continue working out of a sophisticated tool. So just real quick again, really excited to see this feature in your Marketo Engage instance on August 1st. It will not be a phased rollout. Again, no payment. It'll just show up. It'll be there one day. So you can click on that and hopefully it'll be something that can really help you all. All right. So any questions that we did not get to? And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can take a look at the chat. Also, if you'd like, feel free to come off mute, but up to you. We can also just keep going through the chat itself.
I had a quick question. This is Alex.
Yeah.
First, I wanted to say thanks. These slides are awesome. Great. I was wondering if the deck would be available later. I'd like to take some notes and share this with my team.
Yes, I believe it will. Natalie or Jackie, do you have any?
Yes, we will have the recording and the deck available.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nikki. This will be a great addition to the platform. Just a quick question. Should we activate the canvas before we schedule the emails to go out when we use like a batch campaign, for example? Is it necessary or?
Hi, Mohammed. This is Lopa. The existing functionality around scheduling the batch and trigger campaign would work as existing. However, you can now do that from Engagement Canvas itself. Yes, you would have to schedule it from Engagement Canvas or either from the classic UI for your campaign emails to be sent out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great question.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have been replying to some of the questions as well. So yeah, we are in the beta program, just answering some common questions here. We are in the beta program right now, and it's almost about to end. Actually, tomorrow is the last day. So unfortunately, we cannot add any more members to the beta program. But the exciting news is that the feature is going to be available GA very soon on August 1. So, please look forward to our email conversation around it. Once it's available, you should be able to access it directly from marketing activities within a smart campaign. And in terms of export, at this point, you can only download it in a PNG format, and we can provide more formats eventually when we map out our future roadmap. But at this point, you can download it and then eventually convert it in your desktop application. Yeah. There was one more question on, if we can map out a campaign within the canvas to see the full picture and then update, doing it vice versa. At this point, we do not provide that support. You would have to first map out your filters, triggers, and flow steps, and then visualize it in the engagement canvas. But this is a great feature enhancement that we can add it to our future roadmap and evaluate and prioritize it. Will engagement canvas notes be available via API? At this point, we do not have like direct API support for these, so you would have to access it via the UI itself. There were questions on the flow steps and wait steps, like how many people will be available. We do not show the count on the engagement canvas. However, as I mentioned, like all these features are great enhancements, and we look forward to add it into our future roadmap.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a couple questions about, will any new smart campaigns that natively tie to, will there be any new smart campaigns that natively tie to Adobe Commerce? Loba, do you want to take that one?
Sure. I'm not actually much clear on this question, Mike. If you will be able to go off mute and provide more context, are you looking to visualize your smart campaigns that were created in Adobe Commerce Magento within the engagement canvas? Is that the question?
Technically, maybe I'm not sure. We're in the process of implementing Magento, which actually goes live August 1st, coincidentally.
Okay.
And we're creating the revenue cycle modeler right now to coexist with that. And so I love seeing the engagement canvas. I like that a lot. But just want to see if there's any either new features that we can utilize, or if there are any things that are going to be we just need to be aware of during this implementation.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I think that's really great to hear that, coincidentally, even that's going GA on August 1. I can connect with you offline, Mike, and to talk more about it. But at this point, we do not have any specific integration planned out. But this is something, again, that we can add it to our future roadmap.
Okay, thank you.
And then will we see this in our sandbox as well? Yes. So when we go GA, it will be available across all instances for all the customers. Yeah, all the users. There was one more question on version control. So there is no version control when you are editing within a canvas. So similar to how you edit a smart campaign in your current classic UI, it will follow the same pattern. In engagement canvas, the editing is more easy to use, where you can actually directly open the modal for filters, triggers, and flow steps and make edits or access them from the right rail as well. There is a question on the Marketo certification. Jackie or Natalie, if you want to provide.
Yep,
yeah.
Looks like, is there a follow-up question about the
Marketo
Associate certification? Yeah, it is listed. It's just a little bit different. The names have changed of the certification. So I think the Marketo Associate is now the Marketo Practitioner or Adobe Practitioner certification. So it's just the lowest level exam is comparable to the Associate certification if you click through that link there.
Yeah, so Sanjeev, also there was a great Adobe Summit presentation about this that some of the Marketo Engage champs did. So I can share that link too. But it talked through like all the different certifications, what changed and how to prep for them. So in addition to the resources that Natalie sent.
And then, Mike, I think we already discussed about the implications. There are no implications on the revenue cycle modeler at this point for the engagement canvas. Can you toggle between both engagement and canvas? So I'm not clear on the question, but I guess I'm understanding, Sonia, that if you want to toggle from the classic experience of Smart Campaign into the engagement canvas, so the answer to that is yes. Your existing Smart Campaign, the way it works currently, there is absolutely no impact. This is an add-on feature which you can access from within the Smart Campaign using that engagement canvas button that you will see on the top header of your Smart Campaign. So you can go back to your Smart Campaign using the back arrow from the engagement canvas, and vice versa as well. Next question is, will self-service flow steps be available to be used in the canvas? Yes, they will be. So when we go GA, you would be able to also pull in the SSFS flow steps within your engagement canvas. There is one more question on the certification.
Yep, I will pull that up, Paulina, and drop it in the chat. I'm just trying to find the right page here, and then I'll respond to your question. There's a whole page of resources and a practice test and everything. So let me find that right link for you.
Okay. And then I see one more question from Anahi. I can give more background on what you can do from engagement canvas. At this point, you can basically, the whole idea is to visualize your Smart Campaign in a simplified way, and also view and detect errors from a single page itself. So if you see a current Smart Campaign, you have multiple tabs with filters, triggers, and flow steps, and there is not a clear idea as to how everything flows into a Smart Campaign, and engagement canvas provides that one-stop shop to visualize your build Smart Campaign. As we are rolling out the first feature set GA on August 1, we have like limited functionality that we are releasing out. So we have tried to provide most of the Smart Campaign settings functionality in the engagement canvas, where you can schedule a trigger or batch campaign directly from engagement canvas. You can also perform edits on your filters, triggers, and flow steps from the engagement canvas itself, and then visualize that in the canvas once it's already set it up. I hope I answered that. Let me know, Anahi, if you have more questions on that.
It just wasn't clear. So you can't start from the canvas to get out your entire flow.
Lopa, would you be able to demo?
Yes, let me do that real quick.
I think it's easier when you see it. It's
Yes.
a good question.
Going to go ahead and share my screen here. So I'm going to go back to the Smart Campaign here. This is your existing Smart Campaign, and when you click on Build in Journeys, if you already have a Smart List flow, like filters, triggers, and flow step setup, you will be able to view all this configuration in the engagement canvas itself. And additionally, you should be able to build from scratch. So you see the top nav buttons here. So if, for example, if it's a blank Smart Campaign, let me go ahead and create one. All right. I'm here. I'm going to click on Build in Journeys, which will eventually be called Engagement Canvas. So this is how it would look initially when you don't have anything in here. However, you can access the top nav buttons, which would bring you back into your filters, triggers, and flow steps. And you should be able to add those filter cards, trigger cards, and flow step cards, and then again visualize it. So I mean, I would not say the answer is like completely no, but you should be able to access and configure it from your existing Smart Campaign screens, but you have the ability to access those screens from the engagement canvas using the top nav buttons.
So if you go to edit Smart List,
Yes.
you can type in the
Yes. Exactly, yes. And just a quick update as well. So this is how it would work as when we go GA on August 1. And as part of H2 of 2023, that is the phase 2 of engagement canvas, we are providing the ability to make those edits from the engagement canvas itself. So I can show that as well in my test environment real quick. In the second half of this year, once we have the phase 2 released, you would be able to make those edits right from engagement canvas. So when you click on either edit filters, triggers, and flow steps, you will see a modal, the same filter, trigger, and flow step modal in modern UX, and then make your edits on the modal, close out the modal, and you are back in the engagement canvas. This is something which we are working on and to be delivered as part of H2 of 2023.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, great question. And just a little more context. We know that this has been something that folks have wanted for a really long time. So we are definitely prioritizing getting it out at speed. But as a result, the first iteration on August 1st will focus more on that visualization and being able to visualize, things that you've already created. And then, as Lupa mentioned, second half we'll be working more on making it edible within Engagement Canvas itself. Great questions. Anything else? I know we have about 15-ish minutes left. Want to make sure that we answer everything, or any additional feedback or things that you've been thinking about.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, so then if people have other questions they want to ask, they can do that.